Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna do some of the inspection and visualization on the imagery we have there. So imagery is an important type of the data used in most remote sensing based workflows. So imagery can be any optical satellite or aerial image. So you can use it as a backdrop for other layers or analyze it to extract the information beyond what I can see. So in this introductory tutorial, you will learn how to understand and display the imagery in ArcGIS Pro. So first you will learn how to inspect the first you will inspect the properties of an imagery dataset to learn more about its cell size, pixels, characteristics, and spectral bands. Then you will change the image's appearance to make it smoother and more vivid. And lastly, you will change the band combination to better distinguish between vegetation in the image. The skills you will learn in this tutorial can be applied to nearly any imagery workflow in ArcGIS Pro. So I will simply provide a link. From here you can download the imagery and fix it from the link I have provided. So first of all, download it and then you can just browse it uh, to add that file, or you can directly open the project folder that is provided over here. So this project contains an image of the Hallstatt, a small town in the Austrian state of Upper Austria, located along the national road linking Salzburg and Graz. So let's start it. The image. So as you can see that in the content pane over here, the image legend lists three bands that are currently displayed. So the red is the first band, the green band is the band 2, and then we have the band 3 and band 4 near infrared, but it is not currently displayed over here. So in the content pane, just right click on the image and go to the properties over here and click the source tab, and inside the source tab properties, the source property lists various details for the layer sources such as the data location or the disk and the number of rows and the columns of the pixel. So inside the raster information, when you see there are a lot of information over here, the column and the rows over here, properties show how many pixels are in the x direction and y direction respectively. So you can multiply the columns and the rows to find how many pixels are in the entire image. So there are the number of bands property indicate that there are four spectral bands, you already know. The cell size X and the cell size Y properties show the pixel size or resolution of the raster. So in this case, the cell size is 0.2. Usually the cell size is same for the X and the Y, meaning each cell is a square. But what is the unit of the 0.2 value? You will review the linear unit property to determine the unit. Now expand the spatial reference that is over here, and the linear unit property value for this raster is meters 1.0. Each pixel represents a surface on the ground of 0.2 by 0.2 or 20 by 20 centimeters. And now just collapse the spatial reference section, scroll back up to the raster information over here, and which since the type is unsigned, the values can range between 0 and 65,535. Um, collapse the raster information then and expand the statistics section over here. So now you can see that statistics are reported for each of the four bands in the raster. So raster statistics include the minimum and the maximum pixel values, as well as the mean and the standard deviation of the pixels values. So statistics are needed to properly symbolize and render raster data. Now just collapse the statistics and expand the spatial reference over here. So the projected coordinate system over here is MGI Austria JK Central. So a coordinate system commonly used for this region of Austria. So this coordinate system is the preferred choice of the project. So you want have to change it, but you can change it according to your study area. Now just close the layer properties, and now let's you will explore the composite image using the image information pan, and which shows pixel level information about imagery. This image is selected, and on the ribbon click the imagery tab over here, and in the tools section click on the image information over here. The image information pane appears. So the pane contains the contextual information about an image based on the specific pixels you point to on the map. So on the map, point anywhere in the health set image. For example, over here, the image information pane updates automatically following the information. So uh, the location section shows geographic information about the current location on the pointer, and the spectral, which is over here. The spectral section shows the image's spectral information at the location of the pointer, in particular the value of the current pixel of each band. Like you can see, as I'm moving, they are moving automatically. And the quick view, that is over here, the quick view. So the quick view section shows information about the sensor that captured the information, if that metadata is available. For this image, this information is not available yet. On the map, point on the lake, for example, over here. And in the spectral information, the band 1 and the band 4 values are low, as is typical for water. Point out the dark greenish areas over here, and dark green, the forested area. The near infrared band value is particularly high over that region. Yeah, you can see. Because the cell structure of the healthy vegetation strongly reflect near infrared light. So these variation in band values make it possible to identify different types of the land cover by changing the bands displayed in the image. So now just close the image information, and you will make the changes to how the image is displayed to optimize it appears. So before you do, you will create a copy of the image to compare the changes you make the original image. So in the content pane over here, right click and choose the copy over here, and just right click over here and just paste it. So now we have the same two images over here. So now let's just untick this, and now just click on this image, and now we will just go to on the ribbon tab, click on the raster layer over here, and in the rendering group, raster layer, in the rendering group, we just click on the stretch type, and drop down the menu and choose the minimum maximum. So it's over here. So the change is applied, but it's subtle. You will use the swipe tool to compare the two. So in the compare group and in the swipe, so you just click on the swipe, and now let's just take this, and now just see the imagery. You can use the swipe tool to pull back the layer that is selected in the content pane to reveal what is below. In this case, swipe tools pulls back the half-set image.tif layer to reveal what's the duplicate TIFF layer looks like. So this allows you to compare the two layers. So on the map, place the pointer near the edge of the image. So and slowly drag the pointer from the top. You can just point out like that. The image with the basically it's not showing any difference. The image with the minimum maximum stretch is slightly less vivid and has less contrast as compared to the original image. You can see it. As a general rule, applying some types of the stretch give a better prediction of image than no stretch at all. So percent clip is a good default for the imagery, as it cut off a percentage of the highest and the lowest pixel values to reduce the effect of the outlier, and applies a linear stretch to the remaining vivid. So now let's work on changing the uh, band's imagery. So for that, go to click on the click on the image for the band that you want to change. So I'm going to use the real one imagery, and click on the map tab over here, and click on the bookmark. The map return to the full extent, and now just go to the raster tab, and in the rendering group click on the band combination. From here you can just change the band combination. So I'm going to change it to color infrared. So now you can completely see that where the vegetation is present and where it is not. So on the map you can again swipe to the imagery. It's okay. Now you can see that where the greenish area is present and where it is not. So with the natural color, it can be more difficult to distinguish whether there is any vegetation inside the village. With the color infrared, the small vegetation areas between the buildings appear clearly in the bright red, as you can see over here. So this is, I think, really useful when we're gonna work on the forested areas. So on the map, go to the explore, and you can just explore it, and you can also access the symbology pane for the image to see which visualization options are available. So click on the raster layer, and click on the symbology ribbon. Click on the red ring and click on the symbology ribbon, and now you can just stretch it vector field, and you can just add any of the layer you want. So that's how you can work out with the imagery. These are some of the basics of the imagery. So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.